Howdy, it's Blugubrious. Welcome to a very unscientific video. I'm going to do something here because of comments in two other videos. I did a video comparing the Fender Stratocaster to the PRS NF3, and then I did a video after that comparing the PRS Silver Sky to the PRS NF3. And so in those comments, a lot of people were talking about the fact that they don't sound the same, that the NF3 doesn't sound like a Strat or single coils. I don't think it was ever supposed to. I don't think I was ever telling anybody they sounded the same. In fact, I think in both videos I said the NF3 was its own thing. But what I did was in one of those comment sections, somebody was asking about it, and they were really, I appreciated them. They were very thoughtful in their comments. And so what I said, I jokingly said, well, maybe I need to do a video trying to make an NF3, now on your screen, sound like a guitar with single coils, in this case the PRS Silver Sky, now on your screen. And so what I'm going to do, what you see here in front of you, is a Reaper project that has two audio files. The top one is one of those guitars, the bottom one is the other. Might be evident from the wave files which is which, but I did very little to make one of them sound like the other. My thought was, if I was gigging today, and I used to play a Strat only, I never played a Tele, came later in life, but when I gigged, I only ever played a Fender Stratocaster. I didn't play any other kind of guitar. I never played a guitar with humbuckers, no Les Pauls or anything. I played the first Les Paul I ever played just a few years ago, recently. So I would have loved to have had the PRS NF3 back in the day because of the noise. Those narrow field pickups are very quiet. Like I think it's safe to say of all my guitars, even the humbucking guitars, the PRS NF3 is the quietest guitar. So if I was gigging back in the day with neon lights and places and fluorescent and everything else, I know now everything's LED, but back in the day, man, there was so much noise. The second you would stop playing, the hum would be so loud. And so anyway, I like the NF3 for how quiet it is. So here's what I did. In that comment section, I talked about whether I could make an NF3 sound like a Strat with a simple EQ. The reason I say a simple EQ isn't because we're talking about a mix here. We're talking about, like, if I was playing live, how could I get the NF3 that doesn't sound like a Strat to sound a little more like a Strat? And I think you could probably pull it off or something close to it with a EQ pedal. So I'll play these side by side. I'm not going to tell you which is which first. I have the exact same amp set up in both of them. It's actually a model of an amp that I use in my room here, my Ignator tweaker. And so the settings were default. I didn't tweak any amp settings. They're not exactly the same. I don't think I'm going to fool anybody. I don't think anybody in here is going to go, man, I really can't tell the difference. Those are very, very similar. They're not that similar, but just ask yourself, if you're a gigging musician, you're playing typically a Fender Stratocaster or a single coil like the PRS Silver Sky in this video, and the noise is too much. You know, it's too noisy. There's interference and all of that. Would it be worth it to play a PRS NF3 and get an EQ pedal to try to make it sound more like a Strat? So here you go. This is from the neck position, each position down back to the bridge position. So it starts with the fifth neck position, then next to the, so first here is this one, neck position. That's going to be this top file here in your screen, the one where my mouse is moving over. So what do you think? Is that a Strat or is that an NF3? Now here is the other one. A little bit louder, but the 4 position. All right, 4 position on the other guitar. Okay, 3rd position, which no one uses on single coil guitars. Maybe Mark Knopfler would argue with that. That's the top one, by the way. All right, now here's the bottom one. Third position. Or as Greg Cox says, middle position. All right, now we're going to go to the quacky position, position 2. top guitar. Now the bottom guitar, position 2. All right, now bridge pickup. Top guitar. Okay, now the bottom guitar. Yeah, I think it's probably pretty obvious to you that the NF3 has hotter pickups. The bottom guitar here, this one, channel, whatever it is. I don't know if you can even see that on your screen, but it would be channel 3. The bottom guitar is the NF3. And I will show you something. I will show you that, especially those quacky positions, the 2 and 4 positions, I'll turn off the EQ and you'll really hear the difference then. So it's this EQ. Yeah, so this is an EQ pedal in between. So let's listen to it first with it. Sorry. This is the NF3 with it. And lots of people in the comments were talking about how much darker the NF3 is, and this is why. Watch when I disable it. Definitely has that sound of the tone knob turned down, right? So I fully understand if people were hearing those two side by side, that they sounded very different. And again, I'm going to stress that I don't think the NF3 was ever intended to replace a Strat. But I do think that if you are a Strat player and you have the obstacles that Strat players do with noise and other things, buy an EQ pedal, put it in the front of your chain, you might find out that the noiseless nature of the NF3 is worth sounds you might lose from a single coil, because especially that quacky position, position 2, what I call the Sultans of Swing position. Listen to it here first without the EQ. And it definitely loses something, right? I can admit that. Even though I love the NF3, but I don't use the NF3 for single coil sounds. I mean, other people might, but that's not how I use it here at my office studio / home. I use it mainly for lead sounds, like distorted sounds, and boy, it sounds good with a good overdrive pedal. But anyway, here's that quacky position with the EQ engaged. So you can definitely, with an EQ pedal, get some of those highs back, a little bit of that chime, maybe fake yourself a single coil at a live gig. But if I were in a studio, I would definitely not use the NF3 in a place where I wanted Strat sounds. So, man, hope that helps. NF3 is a great guitar, man. I played it today for a while. I haven't played it in a while for any length of time. I just grab it for little things here and there. But today I played it for a few minutes, and man, what a great guitar, especially for the money. So, yep, there you go. A comparison between PRS Silver Sky, or a single coil guitar, if you want to think that way, with the PRS NF3, and asking the question, can we get single coil Stratty type single coily sounds with a NF3? Yeah, sort of. You know, like I said, I wouldn't want to depend on it for Strat sounds, but I think it's pulling it off. Take care.